Hello and welcome. This is a video on bullets in relation to zombie survival. Now, um, since I'm showing you handgun ammunition, this is primarily for handguns. But bullets come in a variety of types. I'm going to break it down to 4 types. You only shown 3 here because I don't have a 4th type on hand to show you. And let's go over that real quickly right now. You got your lead cast bullets, your jacketed bullets, be it semi, full, whatever, your hollow points, and your frangibles. What frangibles are, in case you don't know what it is a bullet that upon impact, instead of deforming and mushrooming like regular bullets will do, it essentially disintegrates on impact. For one of 2 reasons: to help you like shooting close range metal targets without having to worry about it ricocheting anywhere, and also because it can make a good, strong defensive round. Look at the Glazer safety slug, for example. So those are the 4 types, and bullets are made in one of 2 ways, especially for these 4 types: penetrative power, or I don't want to say stopping power, because that implies that the penetrative power ones don't have stopping power. It goes with the ability to penetrate through objects and through targets, and the ability to impart as much of your energy into the target as possible, thus causing more damage. Jacketed bullets and some lead, and depending on lead can go both ways, a pure lead bullet, but one that's primarily penetrative are jacketed rounds. What they're going to do is the jacket's going to keep the lead together, keep it from malforming, for lack of a better word, or just keeping the barrel from being damaged by the armor-piercing materials that some armor-piercing jacketed bullets are made from. Basically, the jacketed bullets are going to keep their shape a little better, longer, to penetrate things like metal, wood, leather, whatever. Hollow points, on the other hand, and frangibles are ones that impart their energy onto the target. Hollow points, what they do is they do what's called mushrooming, which is when they flatten out and get a bigger diameter circle, and that helps slow the bullet down a lot. It sacrifices penetration capability, but imparts a lot more energy, aka a lot more damage, onto the target. Frangible rounds hit the target, break apart, so it's not just one bullet, it's a bunch of little fragments going everywhere, and Glazer safety slugs have little, I believe, BBs in them as well, and that this helps cause a lot of damage as well. So what's the big deal about all this? Well, with zombies, you gotta take your standard look at ballistics, and by the way, I'm not a ballistics expert, but you gotta take your standard look at ballistics and standard look at bullet capabilities, and kind of put them to the side. It's good to have that knowledge because you're going to still be dealing with rogue human elements that's going to take advantage of the situation and hurt people. But for dealing with zombies, which is what we're talking about right now, all you need is a bullet that can reach the target, because your target is the zombie's head. And zombies don't hide behind cover, zombies don't try and put on protective gear, zombies aren't going to be making a complex pattern of movement towards you, they're not going to zigzag or anything. They're going to notice you, make themselves very noticeable, then they're going to come towards you pretty much in a straight line. So shooting the head isn't going to be that much of an issue, provided you can hit the target. So to kind of make a long story shorter, you have to really just worry about hitting your target, and for that I recommend jacketed ammunition. Now something like this one here. This would be lead cast, this is jacketed, this is a hollow point. The reason why I don't personally recommend lead round, lead cast bullets is because lead's a dirty material in your gun. Basically, lead bullets are dirty bullets. They're going to leave residue when they are shot out of your gun. They're going to leave residue inside the barrel, which means more maintenance more often. You should always do proper maintenance and cleaning of your gun to begin with. That's a given. But you're going to have to do it more often when you fire lead cast bullets, because they're going to leave residue of lead behind in the barrel. Jacketed bullets leave virtually no residue, and that's why I recommend them. You're not going to be in ideal conditions during a zombie epidemic, so the less maintenance you require to do, the better, in my opinion anyway. Unless you like doing maintenance in stressful situations and then get fired at lead cast bullets. But jacketed bullets, I would say would be the way to go. Now, hollow points and frangibles, I'm not discounting them. It's not like they don't work; they will, but they're usually more expensive, and you get less for what you pay. And especially if you're going to be target shooting and learning how to shoot, or honing your skills, so to speak, on targets, why fire the expensive ammunition? Most shooters will fire, provided they aren't reloading their own ammunition, will fire cheap, reliable but cheap ammunition. Instead of paying, like, let's say, $35 for 20 rounds of hollow points or whatever, or 25 rounds of hollow points, you would spend the same price or a little bit cheaper for 50 rounds of jacketed. So I would take the jacketed to shoot. More bang for my buck, a lot more fun. And now, flip the coin around. If there's a zombie coming after me and I have that ammunition, I'll be fine because I'm just going for the head, and there's nothing more complex than that going to be happening. Also, I recommend, if you find a particular ammunition type, now they come in different weight. I'm not going to get into it. They come in different grains and everything like that. Let's say you find this ammunition is from company X, or whatever you want to call it, company XYZ, whatever, and you like this bullet from company XYZ. You like the way it feels in your gun, and you'll see you fire some different ammunition types, and that's the one you like the most. Well, then that's the one you should be buying, and that's the one you should probably be relying on, because you're going to be used to its ballistic characteristics, as opposed to getting random ammunition you never shot before. Now, this is all, of course, for prepping and planning. Having ammunition on hand is always good, especially if you're going to be target shooting, but should the situation take a turn for the worse, and zombie outbreak is coming in hard and strong, having your ammunition on hand and having some access to it quickly, which means having it on hand, will be important. And since you know how it reacts, you will have an advantage over somebody who, let's say, doesn't have ammunition on hand, or has to scavenge for it, has never fired that company's ammunition before. Of course, when you're on the go or on a survival situation with the zombie epidemic out there, and you're salvaging and scavenging things from stores, as long as you can shoot it out of your gun, meaning as long as the caliber you need, take it. No ammunition is your worst case scenario if you're relying on firearms to get you where you need to be. Of course, there's some strengths and weaknesses to that, which I kind of went over and I'll go over again in the future. But basically, if you have a gun of a particular caliber and you come across ammunition for that gun, provided it's not going to break your back or anything like that and you can carry it, take it. It's always worth taking, just in case, if you're in that zombie survival situation. If you're not, find a particular company and bullet type that you like to shoot, and just make sure you have that on hand so you can always shoot and have fun. And in the event that society falls apart into a zombie scenario, you'll be prepared and ready. Anyway, that concludes this little lecture on, if you will, on bullet types. What you're looking at, by the way, is 45 ACP. I just happen to have that on hand to show you. But this runs the gambit: 9mm, 38, 357, so on, so on, and so on. So, I'm not talking about caliber here, in case you're curious on the caliber of these bullets. They are 45 ACP. But the caliber doesn't matter in terms of this video, talking about just bullet types and what you might want to think about getting to train with and just have fun with. Alright, so that's pretty much it. And remember, stay safe, have a plan, and be prepared. Take care.